Hello. I'm going to swatch some of the ink samples that I got at the Dutch Pen Show. I think I'm going to do the Cyan bag because I stamped out 10 inks. I'm pretty sure there's 8 in here. And then what I'll do is, to fill the last 2 spaces, is to sample the 2 inks that I mixed, just so I've got a record of them somewhere. So that's my plan. I'm going to do it both on the Tomoe River paper and on the Wear and Go cards. So I'm just going to go and write on the Wear and Go cards because I just do that in, look at this, black pen. This pen right now, because this is the one that's next to me, it is a Uniball Signo 3.8, whatever. So I'm going to pause and write all that out, and then I'll be back. All right, I'm ready. We have first Ferris Wheel Press Moss Park Green. That's not going to fit there. So I was going to put the little dots on top, but these are all kind of a bit different, and so I'm going to have to make different sized dots for them. So we won't be doing dots on the lid today. Ferris Wheel Press. Should I take that off the paper to make me less nervous? So I'm trying to use my watercolor, I don't know, water dish thing today. I don't know why. It'll probably last 5 minutes before I find a reason why it doesn't work for this. So these are all from Cyan. Yeah, I'd rather stick them over there in the pen tray. And we have Ferris Wheel Press Moss Park Green. I'd always been curious about this color. I really think I have only kind of 3 or 4 Ferris Wheel Press between bottles and samples. Oh, I forgot. Okay. Let's all cross our fingers that I get the swing of this. I'm out of practice, even just doing videos. I went a couple weeks without it. I've just been in a mood lately. I don't know why. All right, so that's that one. I'll put that over here. And next we will do Tono and Limbs Ehime? I don't know. And I'm going to pronounce it wrong. Let's see. Wow, that is some bright stuff. Do it on the card. Look, look. I'm remembering. Yeah, the only Tone and Limbs I've tried up till now is are some of their lighter kind of pinkish purpley colors, I think. No, don't close it. You have to write. So out of practice. Not that I've ever been, you know, very good at this, I guess you could say. Brand. Tono and Limbs. Ehime. I'm just going to call it Ehime because I just don't know. Where did I put? I'm looking straight. Okay, it's right here. I can see better. Just still not great. Okay, we're doing Moroccan Mint Tea next by Sailor, the Tea Collection. That is in this one. I have a feeling I'm going to really like this one. All right, I've got a little seal to pop out so I can get ink all over me. I've already got ink all over me. What is new? I've been cleaning pens. But then I found out it's going to storm again. So I was like, okay, last chance. I've got about an hour before it just all goes to heck again. And the thing is, usually, if it's not storming, I've got somebody doing construction across the road. And there's a skip, a metal skip. They're throwing things very loudly into the metal skip. So it's been a bit difficult to do videos because if the weather's nice, but it's Sunday, so I guess they're just not going to do it. And plus there's only 2 hours between rain. Next we have, put this to the side. Next we have Matcha Mousse by Tono and Limbs. Did I not write Biscuit Eater and I just stuck that thing back in? Maybe if I'm good enough, I can cut all that inability to do things right out. Okay. Sailor Tea Collection. Moroccan Mint Tea. I kind of want to try Moroccan Mint Tea to drink. I know I'm not supposed to have tea because it's made of leaves and I'm not supposed to eat leaves. But just a sip. All right. Next we have Matcha Mousse. Where did I put it? Here it is. Oh, look. Look how bright everything got. That is actual sun, not behind a cloud. Get excited. It's July in the UK and we had a week-long heat wave and then it just went back to this. To be honest, I prefer this, but you know. The Brits don't. They want to strip off and sit in the park. Okay, brand. Tono. So this is more like what I know Tono and Limbs to be, quite pale. But I think I like this one. I think like in a medium nib, that would be nice. All right, and then we've got Sailor Ink Studio 670. I think Cyan must be in her swampy ink season. Where was I putting that? Over here. I've been cleaning my room, and that's why I need to like try and get these things swatched, because there's just, I have these like bags of inks. Like I've got this one and this one from like pen meetups and the fountain pen, the Dutch pen show, and then I have this whole bag of ones that I've swatched that I have to put away. I don't know where I'm going to put all these samples. All right, so we have, let's see, we were doing Sailor 670, right? Okay. Now it's getting muggy over here. Wow. The neon under that. Can you see that? And I'm going to move this out of the way because otherwise I'll stick my arm in it. I know me. And this was... That's going to drip. Don't do it. Sailor Ink Studio 670. I like that. Nice and swampy. I really am liking that Moroccan mint tea. Is that reminding me of sesame oil? I am not sure. Like by Lennon Toolbar. I don't know, because every time I think it reminds me of like sesame oil or Birmingham sandstone, then I hold it next to it and it doesn't at all. So I have no concept of what those colors are in reality. And let's see, we've got Krishna Emerald Green, and this is going to be interesting trying to get out. I'll be able to do this, I think. Oh, wow. Yeah, I could do it. Okay. Let me get... I'm dripping things on here. How annoying. There's a solution to that, and that's to not do it over here. Now to try and get the dip pin in there. Can I do it? Oh my gosh, I can. How handy. Brand. Wow, this has got a sheen because look how that is sticking to that nib. Can you see that? Emerald green. Do I have ink on my arm now? No, I don't. All right, and then I already had a card for Vinta La Union. So that, I'll just put it off to the side and then I'll swatch it on here. Because I just like to have a record of who gave me what inks and when I swatched them. I put the cute little dot. Did I put that? Did I close that ink? Yes. Nope. Got it right. I have this lovely pen rest. Do I put things back on it? No. Yep. Another sheener. Is it just Union? Yeah. I'm like having kind of a weird desire to just ink up a bunch of pinks and reds. I know it's not February, but I don't know. It's kind of a thing that's going through my head at the moment. because I'm finally writing some inks dry. So linen toolbar, Asagi, something like that. Oh, not a bubble. That's how this is happening. Okay. Ooh, somebody just asked me for minty kind of ink colors just the other day. Here's one. Don't close the lid. Oh no. The sky's getting blacker and blacker. Tool bar. It makes you wonder like what these things are named after. Like I have a problem where when I don't know a word, I will just go down this huge rabbit hole from that word to the next word to whatever word. Okay, let's see. And then I already had, as I meant, or as I may have cut out, I already had a card of this mix that I made of Neko Unagi and 252. And I did that because I just had I was trying to ink up a pin with 252 and I barely had any left, not even enough to ink up the pin. So I then went and got Neko Unagi to kind of top it up. And I barely had any of that as well. So I was able to fill up the pin and just fill up the sample bottle, and that was all I had left. And I was so proud of myself for finishing ink bottles, even though most of it probably went out as samples. That counts. Sailor mix. Neko Yanagi and 252. We somehow made this, like, both of them a little bit more legible. All right, and then we will do my mix of my diamine mix of Bilberry and Coliseum, which I think I have on another page, but I just want to get it on a swatch page, and I never did a card for it. And since I've got a sample of it, I've decided I must have a card for it. I had this in my Opus 88 Omar, and I just wrote it dry. I hadn't filled it up all the way. That pin, I'd be with that pin for the rest of my natural life if I did that. Oh, why'd I close that? Get to the end and forget what I'm doing. Oh, Sky, hold on. Diamine mix. Bilberry plus Coliseum. And this is 4 parts Coliseum, 1 part Bilberry. And this was even. 1 to 1. All right, I will let these dry and compare some of them that I have comparisons to, maybe. All right. Right. It's holding up time. Okay, so Ferris Wheel Press Moss Park Green is a kind of green-gray on the Suns and Tomoe River paper, and kind of a gray-green on the card as well, a little bit darker. I don't have anything like this to compare it to. The Tone and Limbs took a year and a half to dry. when it went down, and so it kind of turned grayish. Like, look on this card. It's got like a black sheen, but kind of also a, I don't know, kind of a lavendery thing going on. I don't know what's going on with this. It looked more like Orchestra Tangerine when it first started out, but then when it dried, it did this. And I had to use the dryer to dry it because it was not going to dry. But it's interesting, that's for sure. Weird, interesting. Sailor tea collection, Moroccan mint tea. This didn't feather. This was just me swatching badly. The closest I have to that, it looks greener, I don't know if you could see it, on the paper than it does on the card. From the card, the closest matches I have to it are probably African Gold is the closest, but it's a little bit redder, or Burleywood by Pennsylvania Fieldstone, or by Birmingham Pencoat, sorry, by Pennsylvania. Wow, do I have that on my mind? You'll see that later. Yeah, so it's probably closer to Burleywood, but Burleywood's got like a bit of a green sheen if you really blob it on. I don't know if this does, because I don't know whether I blobbed it on or not. But those are kind of close-ish dupes. Tono and Limbs Matcha Mousse. It's still wet on here. Like, I don't know what is up with the Tono and Limbs, but they struggle to dry. And I had to dry this with the dryer as well. Closest I've got to that, but it's a bit more yellow, is Sailor Ink Studio 967. This is a little bit bluer. And then we have Sailor Ink Studio 670, and this has a black sheen. You can see it on the card as well. And then the closest I've got to that is Ina Ho. It looks pretty close. So if you're looking for an Ina Ho dupe, Sailor Ink Studio 670. Krishna Emerald Green. Closest I had to that was Diamine Delamere Green. And that is pretty close, but this has got kind of a reddish blackish sheen on it. And this does too, but you can barely see it. Anyways, it does, trust me. Vinta La Union. That's a pretty bright pink. Let's see. I found that it was kind of closest to Diamine Syrah. Same color sheen even. Linen Toolbar Asagi, not sure. Closest I could find was Rohr and Klingner Viridian Green. And I want credit for holding things up because I know I'm really bad at doing it. This is my mix of Neko Unagi and 252. I apparently did not make a card for 252 before I killed it. But here's the card for Neko Unagi, so you can see how much it changed. It got much darker, and the closest to that I've got is Foxglove, but it's a little bit darker, a little bit easier to read. Yeah, and that was 1-to-1 mix. And Diamine, Bilberry, and Coliseum. 1 part Bilberry, 4 parts Coliseum. This is like a browner kind of version of Pennsylvania Fieldstone. And look, I smeared it. Yeah, so if I run out of Pennsylvania Fieldstone, I can just do this a bit. And that, my friends, is that for this swatching video. Thank you very much for hanging out. Bye.